Hello, welcome back to the series. I'm not going to spend too much time going over it, but do make sure that you check out my other videos I have on YouTube explaining the court cards, and I will be uploading, videos for all the cards and how they pertain to astrology so that you guys have a better understanding and can learn how to memorize the meanings of the cards a little bit better. I'm making this a little bit more practical for you guys so that you can understand, if you have some understanding of astrology or maybe you only just know a little bit about your sign, this is going to help you put the two together. So I'm not going to waste too much more of your time. We're just going to go ahead and get started here. The next card we're learning today is the Queen of Pentacles. Again, this is another card with Earth energy. All the Pentacles are Earth energy. And it also incorporates water energy. So that is Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, and then Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. So those are your water energy. Earth energy is going to be that stable energy, we've talked about before, very grounded energy. And then the water energy is going to be a very, in tune with emotions, and sort of sensitive energy, very nurturing energy, that sort of thing. So as you can see by those two energies coming together, that is how we're going to get the Queen of Pentacles. And I'm going to read some of my notes here that I have. Let's see here. The yin elements of water and earth correspond to the Queen of Pentacles, and water and earth go together, often making things that can be sculpted into practical uses. This energy of earthly creation and nurturing comes from the material things. The Queen sits on a white throne, typically on most cards, and she's usually surrounded by a green or very nurturing kind of lush environment. And she's usually holding the pentagram in her hand and kind of looking at it intentionally, kind of signifying that she is surrounded by abundance. Typically there is a white rabbit symbol of birth at her side, and this is the embodiment of nurturing love, and it either represents a person or the querent's life of the querent themselves. So we also talked about all of the court cards either pertain to the person asking the question or to some sort of situation that is going on that involves the question, or depending on how the question was answered and stuff like that. So you can read it both ways. It's usually, like we said, a very abundant and nurturing type of energy. Okay, now for the Queen of Pentacles, let's get into some positive or upright meanings of the card and the reversals of the card as well. As you know, I think both are important to know. It just makes your readings a little bit better. But for some upright words, and I'll put more down in as I'm reading some of the ones I have written down, is a mother, somebody who is nurturing and warm, somebody who has groundness, somebody who has strong financial stability, and also is a secure person or has security. Those type of qualities are good for the upright. It's usually I like to read this as a mother type figure, or like a more mature energy. I think I've said that as well. Now for the reversals of this card, it's going to be a little bit of the opposite. This is somebody who's has a lot of instability, who's very impractical. They can be very shallow, very, just very surface level type of person. They can have some ungroundedness. They can be sort of, I want to say even like greedy or with money and stuff like that. So those are just some of the reversals that I have on that card. If you guys have other meanings that you associate with this card, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And I do realize that after I was looking at some more cards, because I thought to myself, earlier I said that the card had a white rabbit on it, but I think most of the decks I have actually feature a brown rabbit. It's the original Rider-Waite also, I think, has a brown rabbit as well, but all decks are going to be a little bit different. So that is one thing to keep in mind, and that's why I like showing you guys the different cards so you can get different interpretations. And as you're reading, you might come up with different ideas to give you a more intuitive reading. Maybe a white rabbit means something different to you than a brown rabbit. There's a lot of ways you can go with that, so keep that in mind when you're reading your cards, that everything is open to interpretation. So if we're reading this in a love relationship, The Queen of Pentacles corresponds to a generous, loving, kind, and nurturing relationship or a person. This could indicate that a couple is setting up a nurturing and stable home environment together, an abundant period, or a very loving time in a relationship. If looking for love, the cord represents the qualities for which the querent is searching. So I think that's a beautiful message. Usually, also when we associate the queen, it's usually a more mature woman or somebody in the feminine energy. I talked about that a little bit in some of the other videos. Can be male or female, but like we were saying before, it's typically a person that's very nurturing in the relationship and very like motherly and very, very good with their financial world as well, typically. Or they have some sort of plan that they use to kind of manage their finances, and they do it in a, you know, a caring way when we think of the Queen of Pentacles. Now, if you're asking about the Queen of Pentacles and how it pertains to, let's say, your work environment, the Queen of Pentacles is pulled in a career and wealth reading is a wonderful omen and indicates great success and feeling strong self-worth, or a loving mentor type figure that will help us master anything that's related to our career and wealth. So this can be, like we just said 2 seconds ago, it could be a mentor that you have in your life, usually somebody who's ready to take you right under their wing and show you the ways of the world. Okay guys, that's all I have for the Queen of Pentacles. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to check out some of the other videos that I have on the channel. And if you got something out of this, any new information was gained or learned, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and like the video. It does help the video a lot, and it encourages me to keep creating more content for you guys. All right, thank you.